Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Let's see. Audio fine. Connection all right. That's what we want. Ahoy, welcome. My name is Ike. This is Switzerland.playit with TAGN, the Angry Game News, every day as usual, 10 a.m. Eastern here on this channel. We are on Rumble, on YouTube, on Twitch and Kick too. We don't care for YouTube, Twitch and Kick that much, but we are there, so whatever. We have a newcomer on Rumble called UrhG, and he thinks he's funny and all that shit. He's absolutely pathetic, but whatever. I have one rule on my channel, by the way, so you know, don't fucking spam, otherwise I'm gonna just mute you. That's one rule that I have. Don't spam my chat, and you're gonna be all right. You can go with your spasms, whatever. On the TAGN, we do daily gaming news, mainly gaming news. I concentrate on focus on gaming news, but we sometimes talk about movies and TV shows and culture stuff if there's something important to talk about it. Today we're gonna see about modernism in Saudi Arabia because money is flowing into the gaming world in a very particular space of the gaming world in fighting games. Saudi Arabia is putting money in that and got like the EVO, the Evolution Tournament championship there. Just bought it up. They just bought it up, whatever. Oh, ouch, my junk. Jerk off. Please see what I mean. Please see what I mean. I don't know what you mean, but I mean, he's gonna learn. He's gonna learn. He's a bot user, most likely. His channel was like streaming for 80 plus minutes. The same screen with shitty music. Anyhow, ahoy, haste. Morning all, he says. Let's get into it. We don't have too much time. I also changed a little bit the countdown at the beginning. I made it longer. I'm starting it a little bit earlier, like 9:56-ish. So you have time 1 to 2 minutes after 10 a.m. to just settle down, sit down, and prepare for the show. And the show just starts now. Final Fantasy XIV's Naoki Yoshida wants players to stop sending developers demoralizing abuse. He tries that all the time, stuff like that, like telling the gamers, the players, how they should behave, especially about his team and about the game itself and all that. A few might remember, that was maybe like 3 months now ago, that he told the world, like, you are not allowed to criticize trans voice actors and all that crap because it's mean and all that. And he has another message for the players out there. Final Fantasy XIV producer and director Naoki Yoshida has asked players to stop sending harsh, non-constructive criticism to developers as it can be demoralizing. It's allowed only to criticize for a product you pay for if you're giving constructive criticism. Stupid. Positive feedback is great, and it's a great motivator to aim to continue making those players happy. We see gamers as allies or friends. I want to continue to that mutual understanding. I want to emphasize here there is a person behind the games. While I understand some harsh criticism might be necessary sometimes, there's a person behind the games that you enjoy, and if you have that harsh criticism, I think we would want to have it to be constructive. Some players I know want to express their frustration, but I think the very harsh words will sometimes hurt developers very deeply. I think this applies for any creator in the video game industry. And some of the harsh words that were thrown at some of them, it could potentially demoralize them so much that they don't want to make video games anymore. And in the end, we, as in the gamers, would miss out on good work that these people could potentially have made just because people have thrown these very harsh words and non-constructive criticism at those people. It just becomes such a negative environment. So whenever you are drafting your post before you hit enter, you might want to reconsider. That's what Yoshida tells the gaming world. While Yoshida didn't specify any particular experience here, he has previously discussed transphobic criticism sent to Wook Lamat, voice actor Sena Breyer, following the release of the Dawn Trail expansion. So I have a little bit my troubles with this, with my issues with his statement here. I don't need to care for your feelings as a developer, really not. I pay for this game, like it's a live service game. I pay you with money, and you either give me like a good product, or I'm gonna be maybe pissed and tell you that I'm pissed. If you take that like personally, you're stupid as a developer. You're just stupid because we are not friends. We are not friends. We have like a business deal here. I give you money, you give me your product or your service for whatever reason behind that might be. We are not friends. Friends don't ask for money for their like hobby, whatever, right? So go fuck off, Yoshida. You're becoming more and more stupid, in my opinion. The more I see of you, the more I read from you. It's just shows a picture that you are just maybe a little bit delusional, and especially you don't give us any like posts of those people who were so harshly criticizing you and your team, whatever. What did they told you? Maybe there is actually constructive stuff behind it, but you just were too much hurt. So yeah, I don't care really. Whatever, man. If you can't take criticism as a developer and you take it personally while taking my money, you deserve to be hurt, I guess. I have eaten. Ike needs more likes right now, and then maybe he will get happy and show titty. No, I don't care for the likes. I care for the chat being alive and having conversations. I like money though. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I like money. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's called
like
Ike
money,
doesn't get
though.
happy. I'm used to him being angry at everything. It's while I like him begin with. Oh, Big Z. Give me all your money. The links down below for donations of any kind. Let's hear about some big news. Probably, maybe, I don't know. Live action Call of Duty movie is finally official after Paramount strikes deal with Activision. Top Gun Maverick mentioned as guiding star. 22 years after it began, the Call of Duty video game series is finally getting a Hollywood movie thanks to a deal between Activision and Paramount. Both companies issued a joint statement in which they said the partnership aims to bring the iconic Call of Duty universe to life on the big screen, delivering an unforgettable cinematic event for fans worldwide. Unfortunately, we know nothing of the movie itself except it's a live-action feature film. There's no release window, director attached, or cast. Yeah, it was just announced yesterday, so of course we don't get like right away some more information here. Might be a big hit, we don't know really, but that once more, I think, is evidence of my thoughts that we are drifting once more away from the superhero era and going into the video game live action or movie stuff. You know, that might be one more piece of evidence. What do you think about that? Is the good news, or are you looking maybe forward to it? It could be good. It could be good because Call of Duty, no matter what we think about it, it's beloved around the world. It's being played all the fucking time by millions and millions of people every week and month. So could be something very big, but could also be something like the World of Warcraft movie. Story-wise, the World of Warcraft movie was actually like lore accurate, but because it was like just picked out from the middle pretty much from everything, it didn't do well with the normies. Like the normies couldn't attach to it like with the whole story in that one movie. Call of Duty has probably not that problem though, so might be something good. It might be something good. Paramount usually can do quality movies. But just forget everything about Star Trek from them. No Man's Sky Voyager's update brings in highest number of players since 2016 launch. No Man's Sky latest free Voyager's update has taken off in more ways than one, bringing in the highest numbers of players since it launches back in 2016. Hello Games Sean Murray commented on the achievement on X Twitter, posting a screenshot commemorating the number of players who were in game at the time. 97,986 adding. Highest numbers of players since launch, and appending a mind blown emoji. So good for them, yeah. And with each update they had so far, of course, the player number always goes a little bit higher than they have on average, right? But this time it went almost to 100,000. Even after that, mentioning by Sean Murray, it went a little bit higher. Could be big. The campaign in Modern Warfare 1 and 2, 3 had good story. Yeah, it's gonna be just a war movie, a lot of action, so you need deliberately to make it bad, right? You deliberately need to make like a flop. But we never know, right? With Hollywood, with Hollyweird. By the way, on launch they had about 212,000 players, concurrent players on the launch day. It plummeted then after a week already to like 50,000, but still good. It kept like between 25 and 50,000 all those years. And with each update, like I said, the number went a little bit higher, and this time it seems to be beloved update. And of course, it's free. That's the big plus with No Man's Sky. If you bought it like in 2016, you got a lot of content so far for the same price. And you still get the same content for the same price these days. They don't go like on many discounts with this game, but every time you get like big update and a lot of more new content. So there's that. Giving you something for your money, actually. Let's go to Battlefield, because Battlefield is being released very soon. And now finally we get more about some modes here. Battlefield Battle Royale mode gameplay shown in apparently leaked footage. Gameplay footage of what appears to be Battlefield's new Battle Royales has suffered online in an apparent leak, highlighting some features that could distinguish it from the competition. I don't know about that, because it's gonna be the Battle Royale. The footage shows buildings and other geometric elements popping in. The player also swims in water and later takes out a sledgehammer to demolish the walls of a bathroom in classic Battlefield fashion. Each wall took about 2 sledgehammer swings before completely coming down. Grenades, zip lines, and a ladder gadget are also used in the leaked footage. This won't be the first time that Battlefield has flirted with the Battle Royale format. 2018's Battlefield 5 featured Firestorm, which had a max of 64 players. The closing ring was, as the name implies, a giant ring of fire, as opposed to the toxic gas in Call of Duty, Warzone, or the storm in Fortnite. So it doesn't sound like you're doing really something different, just to be honest, huh? The ring is closing. You have to kill your opponents and be like the last standing. Not a very unique approach there. Releasing during the initial boom of Battle Royale games, Firestorm didn't take off the same way Warzone, Fortnite, or Apex Legends did. Unlike Warzone, which was free to download separately from the main Call of Duty games, Firestorm required the purchase of Battlefield 5. And we had a lot of talks so far that EA promised us every time so far. You're not gonna get this colorful skins and all that. I feel with this Battle Royale mode, which sounds exactly the same like Fortnite and the Warzone games there, I don't think you're gonna change anything else either. Like this format, you're gonna keep too. And you might see in the Battle Royale mode, that's just my prediction, my assumption here, that you're gonna get all kinds of skins sooner or later. Probably not at the beginning, but I assume after like 6 months, maybe, after maybe 6 months, you might get a lot of weird skins already, but only in this mode. Who knows? They might want to make some additional money with the microtransactions in this mode, right? Because it doesn't sound like it's going to be a distinguished experience from the competition. Let's keep our eye on Battlefield. Battlefield 6, of course. Battlefield 6 won't have a ray tracing in order to focus on performance. That's more like a good news, in my opinion. John Thunder might be very sad on Rumble or YouTube. But he also might not play it anyway because it needs your secure boot enabled. Battlefield 6 won't have ray tracing as the team instead is focusing on performance and optimization, according to the game's technical director. Technical director Christian Boole said it doesn't have plans for ray tracing at launch or in the near future. That was because we wanted to focus on performance. We wanted to make sure that all of our efforts was focused on making the game as optimized as possible for the default setting and default user. Minimum specs is certainly one of our most important specs. It's super important from both commercial and business perspective. We want as many people as possible playing the game. Makes sense, makes absolute sense. It's looking good overall, and you don't need ray tracing for every game and every mode and all that. So it might be a very good decision, because I might want to remind you, EA told us they want 100 million players for this game. Like very ambitious goals there. And You can reach that goal easier when you don't just fuck people up with performance issues. And leaving ray tracing out of the equation might bring you closer to that 100 million players goal. Let's talk about this guy here. I think he's a douchebag still. Randy Pitchford says the Borderlands film would have been way worse if he directed it. Randy Pitchford says the Borderlands film would have been way worse if he were at the helm, as he defends the work of director Eli Roth. This comes after this film proved to be both a critical and commercial failure, something that has not put Pitchford off greenlighting more Borderlands projects. Yeah, I mean, the movie was absolutely looking awful. I didn't watch it, but the trailer was enough for me to just keep my eyes away from that piece of garbage. Money-wise, it costs them roughly $140 million US, and they made back not that much. It was, I think, maybe 80 million. Let me check. I checked it today, but I forgot what they made back. Give me uno secundo. I went and go check it. Gearbox. Here I have the note. Oh no, I had like the same kind of number in mind. It was not an 8, it was a 3. So 30 million it made in the box office. Roughly 140 million budget, 30 million back. That is a minus of roughly 120 million. Roughly 120 million they made minus. That's a lot of fucking money, I'm just saying. Worse, maybe. I mean, can it get worse really though? Can it get really much more worse than having like 120 million US dollar minus? The goal was like just making in this case, like as a goal, those 20 million difference in profits. Weird. Didn't even bother me neither. Especially after after Borderlands 3, which also didn't make a lot of money. It barely broke even for a game even. That's crazy. I had Claptrap so much in the game, then he was played but a complete fucktard. So played me. Ever even doesn't like the robos. I don't know. Claptrap I somewhat actually liked. Miles here. Hey there, loving watching your stream. Well, do you follow? That's the other question. Just watching it, thank you, but follow the channel and make it bigger. Anyhow. Oh, I didn't start my alerts. I mean, I started it, but I needed to restart the whole system today. Borderlands 3 is the wokest game I've played so far. We're gonna see with 4, right? You need maybe to change your statement.
Hell yeah!
Take-Two talks to save Xbox Perfect Dark reboot reportedly collapsed. So Take-Two tried to get like this IP, this franchise to make it in their studios, but neither Microsoft nor what was it, Embracer. I think it was Embracer. Yeah, Embracer didn't want to give it to them. That's according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, who reports that the collapse of talks between Microsoft, Take-Two, and Crystal Dynamics owner Embracer resulted in an unspecified number of layoffs at Crystal Dynamics last month. Crystal Dynamics was co-developing Perfect Dark alongside California-based The Initiative before the game was cancelled in July, and its developer closed as part of a sweeping layoff across Microsoft. According to Bloomberg sources, Take-Two was in discussion with Microsoft and Embracer to fund and publish the game, but the deal collapsed in part because the companies were unable to come to terms over long-term ownership in the Perfect Dark franchise. Representatives for Embracer, Xbox, and Take-Two all declined to comment. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? I don't know how much money they put in this project, meaning Embracer and Microsoft, right? I have no idea, but it must be also because it was now in development probably for 6, 7, 8 years. We don't know exactly. They announced it in 2020, but probably started development like 2, 3, 4 years earlier than that. So they probably invested like hundreds of millions of US dollars in this game, in this reboot, in this remake. And all of a sudden, they laid off people. They canceled, therefore, the project. And they don't even want, though, that Take-Two puts money in it to publish it. And that's just weird to me. So what's going on really behind the scenes? And maybe it is just Microsoft and Embracer can't decide who really owns that. I mean, like in copyright terms, Embracer is the owner of the IP. But Microsoft probably is pissed because they put money in it and they don't just don't want to give it away to Take-Two. So yeah, it seems to be like a bigger shit show, and we might learn more in upcoming months or years. Who knows? But yeah, they don't want to publish this game for some odd reason. If it's not on Switch 1, then I can't play it. I still need Perfect Dark for N64. You should be able to get that for cheap. Isn't Perfect Dark like pretty cheap? The cartridge? Or you can do it via different means. A cartridge with an SD slot and such. I'm not saying more. Are you a golfer? Are you a 2K game golfer? I have bad news for you. 2K shutting down servers for these two games soon. It's the end of the road for 2K sports title, at least for their online services. The publisher has announced that the servers for two aging golf games, the Golf Club 2019 featuring PGA Tour and PGA Tour 2K21, will go offline on October 30th, 2025. As of August 30th, however, 2K Sports removed the ability to purchase any virtual currency for either game. Beyond that, however, the publisher said players won't see any effect. Oh, thank you. At least I can play the offline stuff. How generous by you, from you. The publisher did not provide a reason for why the servers are going offline, but it's not uncommon for online servers for older games to close down over time. The games feature official PGA Tour licensed content, so expiring contracts could be a factor as well. Might be the reason, or might be the other reason, like not enough players played it, so whatever, right? I'm cheap, Ike. Otherwise, I would have bought it online. Thank you, Snooty. Snooty is not cheap. Snooty just comes in and give me the money. Hoi, Snooty. Ike, you bad SS streamer. SS streamer? What do you mean, bad SS streamer? Who are these gnats coming into your stream running their mouths? What them? Hail, chat. I just watched before I started my show today, see who is online, and I saw this new face like on the front page, on the second slot in gaming, and looked just weird, you know. But I was interested to see if there's content I might be interested in, and no, it was not interested. It was not interesting at all. But thank you very much for the 10. Nudie. Notifying here myself. Much appreciated, big tenor there. So I don't care as long as they don't spam the chat. They can blame me for whatever. Good news, everybody! Tekken 8 patch 2.05 finally fixes identical chest parameters for female characters. The latest patch for Tekken 8 is here, and despite featuring just a handful of balance adjustments, most of which address buggy interactions anyway, it's still a very important update. Well, depend on who you ask. I mean, we all like titties. Don't you like titties? You can use the bobs as emotes in my chat, by the way. Everybody likes bobs. Indeed, version 2.05 deals with a heinous issue of female characters sharing the same body model, or more specifically, the same chest model. Yeah, they just went copy-paste with the 3D model for all the females. That is unacceptable. Finally, they fixed that. This lack of anatomical variety became a talking point in the Tekken community when bikini costumes were introduced earlier this summer. And as it turns out, the overly similar body types were never intentional. Hilariously, Tekken boss Katsuhiro Harada took to social media in order to offer a full explanation, stating that adjustments have been made to correct an issue where identical chest parameters have been applied across certain characters. Furthermore, the update adjusts Asuka's character model in particular. It's become a bit of a running joke that the series' most popular tomboy has somewhat lost her neck in Tekken 8. So this patch reduces the muscle mass around her shoulder, making her a little bit more female, but still keep like the tomboy appearance there. And of course, you might ask, I want to see that. Yeah, I got you covered. Don't worry. Just check it out here. You see the boobs differences. They adjusted all those titties. I hope you see it. Can I like get into the picture? Probably not. You can't open it. Well, it is what it is. But you should be able to see. All of them got a little bit bigger boobs, but not every girl got the same bigger boobs. Some got even bigger. I think that's a great patch there, man. I don't own Tekken on any system, so I don't care that much. But it's an important patch, and it's more important like they put their focus on such issues. It's just funny, indeed. Nice titties, but too bad. Tekken 8 sucks. It is what it is. Are you watching yourself every morning in the mirror, ever eaten, and do like a little titty dance just to remind yourself you have titties? Woke up and choose violence. I'm still watching you. Nobody cares, jerk. I'm gonna call you just jerk. That's more appropriate. Shall we go? I mean, it's like connected, so yeah. The big news of today, kind of. Saudi firm acquires co-ownership of EVO fighting game tournaments. A Saudi Arabia-backed firm has become the co-owner of Evolution Championship Series EVO, the popular fighting game events. RTS, the co-owner of EVO, has been acquired by Qiddiya. It announced on Tuesday. Qiddiya is a planned Riyadh mega project supported by the Saudi Arabian government's Public Investment Fund. And whenever you hear Saudi Arabia government, it's the monarchs. It's the Saudi family. The king and his money is investing here. Salman bin Mohammed, that's what his name, yes, right. Exciting to share that Qiddiya has acquired full ownership of RTS, a strategic a step that will further strengthen our esports business and unlock new opportunities across the broader gaming ecosystem, wrote Chief Strategy Officer Muhammad. I wonder if they mistyped that name. Maybe not. Muhammad Al-Dawood on LinkedIn. And most importantly, this will enable Qiddiya to keep fueling the continued growth of Evolution Championship Series EVO, the world's largest fighting game event since 1996 with unlimited potential. Yeah, you might have unlimited money funds there now, sure. So it's like almost 30 years old, this event, this fighting, online fighting. I mean, it's not online fighting. It's actually like a tournament in real life. And we had it like 2 weeks ago, something like that. 2 weeks ago, the Evo. It's a big event, a lot of money, millions and millions of money are being invested by all kinds of ad and commercials, being financed this way. So yeah, it's just weird. Let's keep reading, and I'm gonna give you my next 2 cents. This milestone paves the way for setting new heights in the evolution of EVO toward achieving the aspirations of the fighting game community. The news comes weeks after Sony Interactive Entertainment sold its stake in EVO to esports group Nodwin, ending a 4-year period as co-owner. Nodwin co-owns the event alongside RTS. Stretching back to 1996, the Evolution Championship Series is the world's largest and longest-running fighting game tournament, regularly held in Las Vegas and Tokyo. In October, a European version will take place in Nice, France. It's going to become a little bit more gay. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see that we get maybe more money, more entertainment for the audience. I have my issues though with this. You might remember if you watched my show about China just producing more and more quality games and getting into the gaming realm and bending our minds, preparing our minds for this more communistic and you will own nothing and all that, right? And I told you just briefly that Saudi Arabia is opening up with the new king, with Salman bin Mohammed or Mohammed bin Salman. Saudi Arabia is opening up because they don't want to be out of the game of the 2030 agenda plan there, right? So they need to open up. They need to do a little bit something there. It's just weird they are investing in stuff like that because remember, they don't like their women to be like without any veil in front of them, just showing their face. Showing your ankles is a big no-no. So it's just weird that they go for funding stuff like that, where you have female characters on screen, like you see in the thumbnail, right? Ivy Valentine from Soul Calibur, for example. Very sexy, nice curves and nipples, and her vagine is just barely like covered there, and you have a lot of those female characters showing a lot of skin, right? So another sign that actually Saudi Arabia is opening up, and it's all according to an orchestrated mega plan out there. So, and he doesn't want to be out of the game. Like if he doesn't go along with certain stuff, he might not be able to say anything in the future either. So yeah. By the beard of the prophet, I'm cool with titties in games. Oi Zorek, good to see you. I'm at the gym and was mid-pump. I had to stop to see. What? What had you? To see this? No, I don't think so. Did you? Oh, about the titties growing? Fucking pervert. By the beard of the prophet, you should subscribe to Ike's channel. Yes, you should. Give me all your money. How about you give me some money? You got the gifted there, Big Zet. He is cheap, though. He is cheap. Anyhow, let's get to Capcom. We have a few like Capcom-related stuff here today, too. Capcom says high price of PS5 gaming is affecting Monster Hunter Wild sales. I think that's a lie, and I'm going to tell you why it's going to be a lie. The high price of PlayStation 5 gaming is affecting Monster Hunter Wild sales, Capcom has said. Monster Hunter Wilds got off an incredible sales start when it launched in February. After releasing to a Capcom record-setting 10.1 million copies sold, 8 million of which were in just 3 days, Wilds shot up to become the best-selling game in the US year to date, according to Circana, which I don't trust them though, because it's this Matt Piscatella, or what was his name, and he's reporting that stuff always on Blue Sky. So I'm not trusting those numbers right away. But yes, it's according to Capcom themselves, it's one of their biggest seller for this year anyway. However, the quarter for the quarter ending June 30th, Monster Hunter Wilds sold 477,000 copies, only just above the 389,000 copies sold of 4-year-old game Monster Hunter Rise. Wilds was the 9th best-selling game of the quarter for Capcom, while Rise was the 10th best-selling game there. And even like Devil May Cry sold more at this time period of this quarter. And I think even Devil May Cry, it's 4, not only 5, but 4 also. I reported on that like 3 weeks ago or something like that. As reported by Automaton, Capcom president Haruhiro Tsuchimoto told Nikkei Gaming that the cost of entry to play Monster Hunter Wilds on PS5 is rather steep. There was no mention of Xbox consoles pricing in Tsuchimoto's comment. So what's the answer? Discounts, it seems, as well as more content via patches. Perhaps a launch on the record-breaking Nintendo Switch 2 will help too. Yeah, you should push that release for the Nintendo Switch 2. On Steam, Monster Hunter Wilds has a mixed user review rating for all reviews, but a mostly negative user review rating for recent reviews. And yeah, I think there is the problem. There is the problem actually for Capcom not selling that many copies anymore. Because they sold like on release a lot, 8 million supposedly. That's plenty of copies, right? Many people waited for this sequel after 4 years, like not being dried out with Monster Hunter, because you had Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise, right? You had enough of Monster Hunter, but people were still waiting for new content, new game with new visuals, new characters, and all that, new story, blah blah blah, right? That's why you sold a lot, because the previous games were very well received. They had not those issues, and the issues were performance issues. It ran like dog shit, according to some people. It was not really well running on certain systems. And I might remind a lot of people here, Capcom was not attending an event in Japan for developers because they got death threats, mainly around the bad performance and the bad stuff of Monster Hunter Wilds here. They got death threats, and they kept away from attending at this event. So maybe that was the real issue, that you didn't sold that many, and not the price hikes that came just 2 weeks ago. It already started the plumbing in sales prior to the price hikes of PlayStations, which was, what, 10 days ago, something like that. I reported on the price hikes. So you are full of it. I don't know why you go this blaming route. It's stupid, because overall, Capcom is doing financially and gameplay-wise very well. Don't piss off people even more with lying into their faces. That might backfire. That might backfire. I'm just saying. That might backfire in more hate mails and maybe more death threats. Not by me, because I don't care. I don't own the game. I don't play Monster Hunter at all. Actually, I own the previous games, Rise and World, but beside that, I don't. It's not my game. That's all. That sounds like a lie because it sold 10 million. Yeah, didn't stop 10 million from getting it. Performance is why I skipped it. There you have it. Zorak is telling you why he skipped it. And the negative reviews came because of that performance, not because Sony raised the prices of the PlayStation. They don't care. Steam people don't care for PlayStation prices. So you're full of it. I don't know why you blame the price hike for your bad sales after all those issues with performance, mainly. Let's keep on. Capcom. Rumor, Resident Evil Requiem coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Capcom hasn't announced Resident Evil Requiem for Nintendo Switch 2 just yet, but rumor has it that we could be seeing something in the future. Dusk Golem, a name who is often discussed the... Sorry. Sometimes we have to wetten the throat. Dusk Golem, a name who is often discussed with the Resident Evil community when it comes to speculation, claims that the game will be on Nintendo's new console as well as PlayStation 4. Whether this would make a launch or come later is currently unclear. Dusk Golem speculates that Resident Evil Requiem on Nintendo Switch 2 would be a different version with a different tech. Capcom is pushing the visuals and performance of the game with ray tracing at 60 FPS. If we see the game on Nintendo's platform, there would likely be downgrades. I mean, yes, of course, it's way less performant than a PlayStation 5 Pro and an Xbox Series X. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be released probably next year sometimes. Maybe they are gonna time it with the 30th anniversary of Resident Evil, which is gonna be, when was it? May next year. Maybe they're gonna time it with this and release it for Switch there the same like time frame. Who knows? I would like to see that, just because Nintendo Switch 2 needs more third party overall. It needs more good third party. Switch 2 technically could do the ray tracing, but because it's not like a super performant GPU there, it would not make sense to implement ray tracing. The normal game gonna have ray tracing on PC and Xbox Series X and PlayStation Pro. So yeah, I would like to see that, but so far it's only a rumor. If it's gonna ever come out on Switch 2, who knows really, right? PlayStation 4, hard to say. I think that wouldn't make too much sense if it's gonna be released next year. PlayStation 4 is now like a pretty outdated system for newer games. Speaking of Resident Evil, though, we got some little news about the upcoming movie. Resident Evil movie director says he's making it for fans of the games, not the movies. In recent weeks, Barbarian and Weapons director Zach Cregger has been dropping hints about his next movie, a new take on Capcom's Resident Evil, explaining how his spin on the survival horror franchise will differ from the 7 previous live-action films. But Cregger may not actually know just how different they'll be. He says he's never seen the other Resident Evil movies. Yeah, how can you claim it's going to be different? I mean, it's going to be different because he told us already multiple times he wants something more original. It's going to be in the same universe with the same theme, but it's not going to promote any known characters. So yeah, Crager's Resident Evil, which begins filming next month in Prague, will be an original take. It's not directly based on any of the game's stories, but the film will follow the structure of the Resident Evil games, he says. It takes place in the world of the games, but most importantly, the journey you'll have as a viewer of watching this movie is going to be similar to the journey you have as a player when you play these games. And what that means is it follows one protagonist from point A to point B as they just descend deeper and deeper and deeper into hell. So that sounds actually okay to me. If you introduce a new character and Capcom has their approval, like lore-wise and all that, it's going to be fine. But also we shouldn't trust too much on Capcom's opinion either, because does anybody remember Resident Evil Netflix? That was a big shit show there. But he has now gathered more experience with Barbarian and the Weapons movie, horror movies, and they are very, very well received, make a lot of money. I mean, they didn't cost a lot, but he might keep the budget again very low and produce something people like to watch. I just can assume. He had kind of 2 hits, one after the other, so who knows, really, right? Potentially the first good Resident Evil movie. The other movies were all about action and I hated it a lot. True, but in hindsight, what we got like the last 5 years from Hollywood, in hindsight. If you look back to those Resident Evil movies, they were like cheesy, like a little bit goofy, right? In hindsight, though, what we got all kinds of slop from Hollywood the last 5 years, they are actually kind of good. It's weird because at the time you might have watched it when they were new. You might have thought like, feels a little bit goofy. I'm gonna watch it just because, but yeah, not super good. And now after all those years, maybe not that bad, like many other movies, right? So yeah. As someone who has played, just for a comparison, if you compare like the movies with Mila, whatever her name was, right, to the Resident Evil show from Netflix. The movies were compared to the Netflix show masterpieces. Just saying. As someone who's played, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of hours of Resident Evil, I feel like I know how that pacing can go, and it's inherently cinematic. I feel like that's a great movie that can live inside of this world and inside of that sort of pacing. So yeah, he told us already he's a really big fan. He might actually know what fans want to see from a Resident Evil movie. Less goofiness, maybe more like gory with horror. Not just gore alone, but with horror elements, with like some nice jump scares, keeping stuff dark, keeping it a little bit more mysterious while the character walks from point A to point B. Is going to be surprised, he's going to be hurt and all that, and he needs to find maybe to heal himself somehow, and still not making it goofy though. We're going to have to wait to see. Crager says that his Resident Evil movie feels in line with my sensibility, has my sense of tone, and it's just a much bigger scale than Weapons and certainly Barbarian. Despite mixed results for Resident Evil films franchise adaptation, Crager thinks that fans of the games are probably going to be stoked. Okay. Probably lives more in the world of Resident Evil 2 and 3, but I'd say it adheres more of the tone of 4. So just by reading this small sentence here, I think he actually knows what he's saying when he phrases it like that. It lives more in the world of Resident Evil 2 and 3, but has the tone of 4. The tone of 4 was more realistic, like you had humans with a parasite. They are still like conscious in some way, right? So it has that tone, but maybe the brutality and the good story writing of Resident Evil 2 and 3, which I enjoyed way more than 4 and 3, to be honest. So I think that might be a good movie. Who knows? I don't think I'm taking any more liberties with this movie than the game franchise does at all, he said. I'm coloring within the lines. Okay. Shall we trust him? Oh, I don't know for sure. But sounds good. Sounds overall good. Sounds like he knows what he's doing. Sounds what he knows what fans of the games wants to see, actually. Little side notes towards the end here of the show. And I thank everybody for being in the chat. Good to see you as usual. Use the chat. He's a tracer. Cult Classic 3D N64 shooter from 1998 arrives on Nintendo Classics tomorrow. There you have it. Forsaken. Did you like Forsaken? Do you want to see Forsaken on your Switch and Switch 2? Now you have the chance. Not now, tomorrow. Maybe it's now because no. That's a newer news from today. I'm up to date. And yeah, another side note. Happy birthday, Salma Hayek. We need to say happy birthday to her because she has aged fucking well. 59-year-old. 59-year-old this lady is. I absolutely would. And we have another guy or girl posted this one. Let's make it full screen. Sure. Are you ready? See the evolution of hotness? I think like when she was 30 years old, she was on her like peak, right? Selma Hayek, peak right there. From dusk till dawn. But no matter in what movie she was in, she always looked hot, man. Dogma? She had no vagina in Dogma though. As a muse, she was not allowed to have genitals. Still looking hot. I mean, you see she is aging, right? Here, 50. Still hot as fuck. Bikini though. $53, $54, $55, $57, $56. 59-year-old this hottie. I still would. Not a lot of humans age that fucking well. I'm just saying. That's pretty crazy how well she is aging. Like you see every time she shows the cleavage, you don't see like wrinkles. She keeps herself very. I don't. Would you also haste? Haste would too. Even ever Eden would. Even ever Eden would. Betty alert! Even Eden would. Boobs. Yeah, that was it though for today. I managed to go through in a timely manner. Like I said, I'm starting a little bit earlier with my countdown, like 56-ish, 9:56-ish, 57-ish, in between there, and giving you though 1 to 2 minutes after 10 a.m. Eastern every day here on this channel. Time to settle down, to sit down, to prepare you mentally for me, you know. There we are. I thank you a lot for being around. I hope you got some information with you. I hope you remember some information and keep them in your head, and maybe look back in a few years like, oh yeah, I know about that because I heard it on that news. Who knows? Thank you, Snooty, again for the tenner. Much appreciated, as usual. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, evening, morning, wherever the heck you are. I mean, ever Eden and this Big Z guy, pretty darkish out there, right? So yeah, enjoy whatever time you have left. And we're going to see us again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern on this channel, Switzerland Play It. Every day, Monday through Friday. My name is Ike. Thank you. Bye-bye.